Oh, don't mind me. I'm just playing this stupid freaking game that my wife and daughter and mother-in-law and everyone else got me to play with this amazing 90 hertz display. Oh, okay. Let's get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Josh. This channel is What Would Josh Do? And this is my review of the Pixel 4 XL. And after, like 2 weeks with this phone or so? A lot of things. So much, in fact, that I kept a note. So let's get in on this. First thing I want to talk about is the screen. It's big, it's nice. It's nice not actually being able to reach my entire screen with one finger like I could before. Because you know what? Now I get more stuff to enjoy on one screen. I don't have a small screen. I love this screen. And then it goes between 60 hertz and 90 hertz, and it flips back and forth. But if you go in the developer settings, you can actually tell your phone to always force 90 hertz. See? Force 90 hertz refresh rate. It will make your battery last less, but this has fast charging. Like I said, I've got a lot to go through, so this is going to kind of be everywhere. So you can force 90 hertz. Battery life will not be as good, but it's a big battery. It gets me through enough of the day that it's fine. I get through most of the day. And I work at a desk job. I'm always around a charger. And I've got amazing little fast chargers such as this Anchor power delivery. I will have a link to a video of this guy, and then the Amazon link will be in the description below. Please use that Amazon link as it will help out the channel. It's an affiliate link. So I will demo this in a moment. You guys don't even know. Okay, and this is a little power thingy to show you what it's doing. So, all right, so much to talk about. All right, so as you can see, I don't have any buttons on my screen, and I really like this a lot because before you have like home, recent apps, and then you have your back button, and I don't have any of that, as you can see. So when I'm watching a video or something, I don't constantly have buttons down here. When I'm playing a video game, I don't constantly have buttons right here. It's great. I love it. I get more of my screen to view a full page, like web or something. So how do you go back? Well, that's easy. You just swipe from the left of the screen or from the right of the screen. So how do you go home? It's super easy. You just drag this up to go home. How do you go to your recent apps? You basically hold up for a moment, and then, or you can do this to get to your recent apps. You just flip back and forth from here, and then go home. And then you go home like that. Now, I accidentally do that sometimes, unfortunately, when I'm like playing a game, and I want to I'm trying to scroll around the screen, and I'll do that. So I do that sometimes on accident. It's a little bit annoying, but as you can see, I don't have little bars or, like back, home, and recent apps taking up my screen. And if I want to close the game out, I can just do the animation, the little swipe gesture for back. And then, yes, I want to go out of there. So there you go. There's your recent apps right there. And then you go home. And then if you want to go back, you just swipe over. So it's actually really, really cool. Now, another thing I want to talk about is if we go back to the developer options here, is check this out. Okay, so with my Pixel 3 non-XL, I was always using the maximum memory it had available. It only had 4 gigs. I was using that all the time. But with this, you have 6 gigs. And look, so I use about 3.5 to 4 on average. So I actually now have free memory, which I didn't have before. I was always using everything that was available, so it was closing things out. And now I don't have that problem because, I only have those 2 apps open. So that's my average use. So having 6 gigs of RAM is essential. It's essential for me anyways. For you, you might need less, but yeah, so it's super freaking awesome having 6 gigs of RAM in this phone and not 4. So let's talk about Face Unlock. Face Unlock on this device is absolutely amazing. It's amazing. So you press the power button, you can see that it's actually kept unlocked by my watch because I use a TicWatch Pro. But if I look at it, it unlocks instantly. that thing is amazing. Even in dark, like in my room, pitch dark, where my iPhone X has a little bit of trouble unlocking, this thing unlocks just fine. The iPhone X was amazing for face unlock. It worked great. But this, you unlock it with your face, takes you right to the home screen. You don't have to swipe up to go to your home screen. It's super freaking fast, and I love it. And that's because of the infrared sensor and all the things it has. And let's talk about that too. So I use the timer and alarm on my phone all the time. And I love the alarm on this phone. I love the timer on this phone. On iPhone and previous Androids, when you had a timer go off or an alarm go off, it was really, really loud, like super loud. And I work at a call center, so it's nice having this phone with the alarm go off or the timer go off because it knows that it's close to me. I'm working away and my phone's over here. It knows that I'm around it. So it's just very silent. Like I can hear it, but it's soft and gentle because it knows that I'm near it and it doesn't have to be that loud. So that is amazing. And let's talk about some other things, such as there's a feature that I had to turn on manually under gestures. You go to system and then you go to gestures and you'll see flip to right here. I've got it turned on. And what that does is, say I'm at work and I don't want my phone on silent all day long, I can just flip it over on the table. I will feel it vibrate a little bit there, which it just did. And now it's on do not disturb, which I pick it up and it automatically, you won't actually ever see the do not disturb because it's so fast. It's already turned off. And now my phone's on normal volume. That's another thing to talk about is that when you bring up the slider, you can have access to all your little controls instantly right here by pressing this button. And then you have your media volume, call volume, ring volume, and alarm volume. And then you can even see more. So that's awesome. And then you also can bring up the on-screen like translator thing there. So it'll like translate the words and stuff that you're talking. Oh my God. Okay. So if you open up the voice recorder app, it has this amazing feature where while you're talking, it's transcribing what you're saying. And it works really, really well. And it also can keep that all in there. So what I'm trying to say is you can search for something specific and it'll point out exactly where instead of listening to an hour-long recording of a conversation you had with somebody or you were trying to keep track of something, you can search for it and it'll bring you to that spot in the audio that it was bringing it up. So I could have this phone doing this while I'm reviewing. Like if I had two of those, I could be reviewing something else. And then if I forgot what I was talking about, I could go back here and then I could search for it. See, we'll search for the word bringing and it found that word. So what about constantly? Search. So it found it there at 36 seconds into that. So this is such a cool feature. If you're someone that keeps notes or you need to say something like you're driving and you don't want to type something out, boom, all right there. Super freaking helpful and awesome, and I love it. Now, as far as back to the gestures, you've got gestures that will do things such as when the alarm's going off and it knows that you're close, it's not going to be that loud, so you can just swipe it away. Now, for the songs, I turned it off because I've got the little dock that Google sent me with this and it charges it. And if I have it charging on my desk and then I move my mouse or I go to grab my drink or do anything, I trip that. And so while I'm trying to listen to music, it's constantly skipping songs back and forth. So it's kind of frustrating when you don't want it to happen. Like if only you could set how close it picked it up. So I have that disabled, but you can skip songs back and forth by simply waving your hand back and forth, which I have it disabled, so I can't even show you that right now. So in my unboxing and a couple other unboxings I saw, there's two speaker grills here, and this is the case that Google sent me. I really, really like it, so I'm keeping it on. And with my UAG case, I had a little bit of trouble with wireless chargers and having to be in a perfect spot. I don't have any trouble with this case, so I'm going to keep this case. But those are not two speaker grills. The audio comes out of this hole and it comes out of here. So when you're listening to something, it is in stereo. You do hear left and right or vice versa sounds. You hear stereo speakers. So you've got one that's shooting out this way, and then you got one that's shooting out this way. So it's really, really loud. I love the speakers on this, and I use this to listen to music. This is absolutely such a great little media consumption device. I love it. Speakers are loud, left and right, stereo. It's freaking great. This being a Google phone since the Pixel 2, it's got the little squeeze to have like navigate to the closest, I'm not going to have it do that, but you can have it navigate to the closest grocery store or gas station or play a song or whatever you need. You don't have to like fiddle around with anything. You just squeeze your phone and it works every time. It's great. Now, a small little feature for you guys that use the latest Gmail. This is something I did not know, but this little thing right here that shows you your face, you can actually swipe on it. And it actually goes back and forth between your emails. It's freaking awesome, and I didn't know that was a thing at first. By the way, I do have the new Fire HD 10 coming today, so stay on the lookout for that video. I will be posting that today. But so all your apps are here. You can just go over here to the left and clear it all. One button. All of it's cleared and gone. One great thing about Android 10 is dark mode, which I have enabled. As you can see, everything on here is dark, and all you have to do is go to display and enable dark theme on Android 10. And earlier, I forgot to mention this, but remember how we were talking about the screen and how great it is watching media and all that other stuff? There's no notch. There's no notch at all, and I don't have any software or anything hiding it. The full screen, you get it. It's yours. No notch in the way to interrupt your viewing or like like you have something open and you can't see what's right there, so you have to like scroll around or whatever. No notch. There's no notch on this phone. It's something I didn't know. I have a lot of apps on my phone because this phone has 128 gigs of storage. It's beautiful. I love it. It's enough for me. It's perfect. So this phone, I have a lot of apps on here. And I did not know this, but you can actually see the letter. Like if I want to go to Amazon, I know that my A's are up here. And all my A's. If I want to go to Spotify, I can go down to the S's and find my Spotify. So I did not know that was a thing until recently. That's not a specific feature of the phone, just thought that was really cool. Because this is a Pixel phone, you're going to get Android 11 the moment it drops. You're going to be the first person to get it. Remember how I said I was going to go out of order? Android updates of this thing are going to happen instantly, and you don't have to wait for like your carrier to slap their, like Samsung UI or Motorola UI. You're going to get the latest and greatest stock Android experience, which is great. But the screen, we're talking the screen, we're talking about no notch, we're talking about how big it is, that it's 1440p, it looks amazing, it's awesome. I have Google Stadia pre-ordered. Mine says it'll be here November 21st or November 22nd. So I'm going to be playing Google Stadia on this, and I've got a larger screen to play on than my non-XL version Pixel 3 or the non-XL version Pixel 4. So I'm going to be playing Google Stadia on this phone and reviewing that, of course. And then one of the last things I want to show you before we end this video and wrap it up is how fast it charges. This is an Anker 29-watt power delivery charger. I have made a video on this thing a little while back. So we're going to plug it into our little inverter here, and it's a watt meter. We're going to plug this in, and then this little sniffer thing here, we're going to plug that in. We're going to plug it in here. So we are charging at 21 watts. Not right this second because my battery is at 70-something%, and it doesn't need to charge it that quickly. But if you check out my Instagram, I posted a picture of this almost at 21 watts. This thing charges so fast. I love it. I love it. Now, it's only at 70% for this video, so it's not going to get the full 21 watts because it's almost full. But if my battery was at like 30, 40, 50%, this thing would be going all the way up to 21 watts and charging this thing so fast. So fast. And if we look here, it's at 9 volts and 1.4 amps. So that's what it's drawing at 15 watts here. 15 watts. So now, why that's important is if I plug it into this thing I mentioned at the beginning of the video, check this out. I fully charged it up, because this thing also charges off power delivery, and it charges very, very fast. Look at that. 9 volts at 1.4 to 1.5 amps. So we're going to get the same exact charging speed out of this guy than we would with this guy. Granted, this is 18 watts. It's not going to do 21 watts like this. This thing will do 29 max, but this phone has only ever pulled 21 max out of the wall. This thing, it will charge it at full 18 watts. 18 watts from here to there. So if this was at 30-40%, this battery would skyrocket up really fast because this charger is very fast. Absolutely love this thing. This phone is super fast. It's got tons of memory, enough for me for storage and for RAM. It's got a great screen, 90 hertz refresh rate. It has so many positive things that the only negative thing I can think of is, of course, the price. And I guess the battery could be bigger. There are phones with 4,000 plus milliamp hour batteries, and this is not 4,000. So the battery on it could be better, and the price of it is, I like how Flossie Carter puts it, but this is family friendly, and I'm not going to use the words he used, but it's too dang high. The price of this phone is super expensive. So if you're getting this on your carrier and you're paying monthly on it and they've got a good deal, 100% highly recommend it. But for the price, it's expensive. It's super fast, but in reality, that phone I reviewed a couple weeks back from ZTE actually launches apps a smidge faster. It has more storage, it's got more RAM, and it's like $500 something. It's half the price of this phone. So this phone is expensive. But if you can get over that, if you can get it on a monthly plan at like T-Mobile or Sprint or something, then yes, definitely go for it. If you find it on sale, full price, definitely go for it. But I think for the cost of this phone being, 128 gigs, 6 gigs of RAM, and the XL version, as spec, it's like $1,100 phone. That's a freaking lot of money for a phone. But I love it. This phone is my main phone, and I'm not taking my SIM card out of this phone until something blows this out of the water. But it being a Google Pixel device and getting Android 11 the moment it drops, Android 10.1, 10.5, whatever comes out next, this is going to get it, and all the other phones are going to be way far behind. And you may not even see that update. You may not even see it. You might have to buy the newer version to get that. But with this phone, you're getting it day one. Love this phone. Please follow me on Twitter and Instagram when my all-new Fire HD 10 with the 2 gigahertz processor and the Type-C fast charging comes. We're going to make a video of that and post it later today. This is What Would Josh Do, and I'm out.